Well, what's up, guys? Larry here. Welcome back to Speedy Black. It's a big day today. Let me show you why. If you're familiar with this company, you might know what's in here, but I'll give you a little hint. Arby's, we got the meats. Today we're getting some racing wheels installed. It'll be 17s with some really nice rubber. I think it's 305, 47 something.
Yeah, your old ones should fit. Your old limits.
Yeah?
Yeah, they should. If not, I should have something to fit those.
Okay. Can't wait. Almost done. Now while we wait for the wheels to get done, we've got some other car projects. Let me show you. So I had another crazy idea. I was looking at the car, I was kind of talking to Jenny, and you know, she asked about the black deck lid, one of these. And right now I'm running one that it says Mustang on the back of it, but I thought, what if I completely red out the complete back of the car? Look at the S550 Mustang, you'll know that on the back there's the black area in between the tail lights. And I like the red and black, don't get me wrong, but I thought about it, I was like, I've got a set of lights in the back that everybody hates. Everybody hates these lights except for the people who buy them. And it's weird to say that, but like, it makes sense. The people who buy them like them, but literally everybody else apparently hates them. But I like them. They're the halo lights, and I got mine from Morimoto. And I was thinking there's some black on those too. What if I red out all of that? And since these aren't my actual original Mustang taillights, and I don't really rock them all that much, I'll play with it. So here is the box. I'm gonna basically cut it so that I can use 3 of the 4 walls and turn it into another one of my makeshift painting booths. So basically, I just want to remove this top piece, but keep the sides. So the cool part is, once it's done, so pretend I just finished painting this thing. Once it's done, I can drop that on top and just let it dry. Normally, I would probably suspend something that I'm painting. Look at me talking like I'm an expert. I would suspend something I'm painting, but I'm not gonna do the bottom of this. I'm not gonna do the underside. I'm literally just gonna do the front. And because it's thin on the side, I should probably get pretty good coverage. The only thing I'm worried about is if the primer is even going to stick to this. To be honest, at some point I might just buy one of these and just leave it gloss black. It actually looks pretty nice just by itself without the Mustang like I have on mine. Mine, it actually says Mustang right here, but the car's in the shop. I can't show you. Maybe I'll drop a piece of footage. But this is clean, like fresh from the factory, super clean with no, no watermarks yet. This is beautiful. So I believe I have just enough primer left for one more. I know this is real ghetto, but it's I'm just experimenting here. All right, so these are those lights I was talking about, and you can tell by the dust. I haven't used these on the car in a while. I usually put them on like for a month or 2 in the summertime, and I change them back. I like going back and forth. Like, they're not really hard to install. But again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint out all this black. So everything is going to be red, and then the lights are going to feel like they just glow off the body. It's going to be weird, but I think it's going to be cool. So I got to start masking this out. Tape around here, tape this off, maybe cover it with some plastic, and then just spray the whole thing down. Hopefully I have enough primer to do all this, but I got to clean them first. I'm going to mask off. I'm going to take these Ziploc bags and cover these up and then tape them off so that there's no chance that I get any of this part messed up. I hope no palm fronds fall on me. I'm just gonna see. Yeah, that looks fine. Hell, actually, I might not even need to hit these with water. Here's what we look like after just a simple green pass. They weren't kidding, it was real simple. And it tastes like green. Just got word from America's Tire that they're done with the install, so great, but I just got word that they're advising me not to run with the slicks right now just because with the car being lowered, they're afraid that if I hit a bump or something like that, I'm going to cause damage to the car. So I want to go see it, because what I might do is keep them on there but just drive it home and then go straight to the next piece of work that I need to do, which is actually getting those coilovers taken off and putting the stock ones back on. It seems like I need stock ride height no matter what happens. Spent so much money. That $300 mod cost me so much money, from the damage repair to the front bumper to having to put everything back on. I wish I never would have gotten those lowering springs. Not that they're bad, but like the car is just way too low and it doesn't have enough rigidity. So I can't recommend the Eibach lowering springs for me and what I want to do. Maybe for other people, but not for me. Nice work, finally. Well, I get to see it one last time. This is going to be the setup. I still want to get it powder coated, so I have some time, but I got to get it back to stock height. Because there's the reason why. So there is, if I put my hand under here, there's these little clips. Oh, what the fuck is that? I got to get that painted. Damn. There's these little clips. There's one right here by my finger. I can't get the camera in there, but maybe you can see. It could be dangerous, but barely even like an inch above where the tire is like the lining. I don't know if people run with this lining or they take it out, but I know if I hit a bump, it's going to rip this thing out, and then the wheel is going to spin it up, and it might send my car sliding. So let's just look at it one last time. We're going to get the stock ones put back on, and at least I'll have drag wheels ready to go once I get the suspension put back to the original stock. So I need to jump on that. Feels like now's a good time for some story time. I took a quick break to run over to America's Tire. They said they had finished my car. They wanted to warn me about the ride height, so I kind of mentioned that in the last bit of clip. And I was excited and I was in the moment. I started filming the car because from the side that I was on, everything was all fine and dandy. Then I went to the other side, and that's when it hit me. Lethal Performance sent me two different wheels. They sent me one of the wheel that I actually wanted, which is the multi-spoke. I think it's called the Black Hawk design, which more closely resembles the Performance Pack wheel that I have in the front, which I don't want to change. I don't want to put skinnies in the front. But then on the other side is just the 5-star wheel design. And I went back and checked my order, and the order says quantity 2 Black Hawk 17-inch wheel. So that means somewhere in the logistics side, on the Lethal Performance side, someone sent me the wrong wheel. And in the moment, I was pissed. When it all hit me, I was pissed because I waited the time, I paid the money, I finally paid I paid to get this all installed, and then I'm gonna pay them to take it off. But at least I'll have my wheels when it's ready to go. But then to realize that you got one of the wrong ones, it's now you're thinking I have to go communicate with their help desk. I gotta get. But this is why we're doing the story time. We're all human beings at the end of the day. Let's just be real. We're all humans. I'm pretty sure, those boxes were probably close together in the warehouse. Maybe somebody grabbed one of one and one of the other and just didn't do a last minute check. Maybe the box was labeled wrong, right? I don't know who, where, or how to be upset. So I'm not going to be upset. I've made mistakes before in my life. So it's not going to kill me. I'm alive. I'm living, breathing, with all the stuff happening in this country. This is probably one of the least things you can complain about. So I'm going to give a call to Lethal Performance. I'm going to see if we can work this out. And I'm going to do it without any sort of hostility or anything. Craster. Hey. Get in the house. None of that. As I was saying, looks like it's going to be a little longer than I thought before the drags go on. One, I need to do my stock suspension ride height anyway, so like that's also helping me just be calm about this whole thing. Is I knew I needed to do that. I wasn't going to be on those anytime soon, so hopefully that overlap is going to give me and Lethal Performance some time to get this worked out. But I do have to pay again to then unmount the tire, unmount the TPS when we get the new wheel, put all that back on. So maybe I'm going to spend another $150 in service to America's Tire. And granted, they deserve it. Like, I don't have a wheel changer over here, so I can't do it. And yeah, I'm going to be out a little bit of extra money because of this mistake. But again, it's not like Whipple sent me a supercharger for an F-150 that doesn't fit my generation or something like this, right? Like, it's not a $10,000 mistake. It's like a $500 mistake. So let's see what they do. But for somebody who's really excited about being this close to the car being done, for someone who's like, Jenny actually came out and was like, I feel like it's bad omens. She was like, every time you try to do something, something bad happens. And I just want to like finish and drive my car. But like every time I've tried to get the supercharger done, there was a reason why we couldn't. Every time, I don't know. I don't want to think that way, but now it's on my mind, I guess. I don't know. So if there are bad omens, please leave me the hell alone. Let's, instead of trying to keep me out of this being a negative, let's put the positive energy out there and say, help Larry finish his car. And Larry promises not to do anything stupid or dangerous with it. And I'm going to make the best of it. While I'm while I'm trying to drive the vehicle with as much horsepower as it's going to have, that's a learning curve. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be racing it, but like I want to, know how to control the vehicle, right? So like there's going to be that. But if I can say anything to help persuade you guys into understanding what I'm going to do, I used to have the first motorcycle I ever learned how to ride, ever. If you guys know motorcycles, it was a sport bike. It was a Yamaha R1. It was a 1,000cc sport bike. That was my very first bike. If you don't believe me, suck an egg, but it's actually true. I've owned 2 Yamaha R1s before I stopped riding motorcycles. And literally, my first bike was a Yamaha R1. And everyone was telling me how I was going to die this way, how I was going to die that way, and how I was going to crash this and do that. And granted, it never happened. I had a squirrely moment one time. But other than that, I respected the machine. I knew how the machine worked mechanically. I knew that like as long as I don't turn my wrist to the moon, I'm going to be relatively okay. And so just try to be in control and just understand that there's a lot of power in the machine. So like, I'm going to treat this the same way. So Lord Jesus, please be with me as I embark on this endeavor to finish this car. But yeah, long story short, there's a lot going on. I'm trying to finish this vehicle. I swear I'm trying to finish this vehicle. So these are good to go. Basically, I'm going to prime this whole thing. It's got like a glossy material on it, so I'm only follow this and do what I do if it actually turns out and works. So please stay till the end of the video to see if this was worth it or if this is a huge mistake. But like I said, again, I don't run these lights all the time. I've had them for a long time. So if it doesn't work, I still have the lights that are on my car and they look beautiful. But I don't know. I was just on this quest. A lot of people hate on these lights, and I always thought that they were pretty cool. I thought they were unique and different. And funny enough, the Rice Boy in me is a big fan of the Nissan GTR. I like the Ford GT that has the halo lights that these are originated from, even though everybody says, oh, you think you got a GTR? Because they kind of look like old school GTR-ish. I'm not even going to lie to you. They really do. But I think if everything is red in the car, and then these lights come on, I think it's just going to look amazing. And I think that people are going to copy when they see that. when they see that like the unicolor back with no black to break it up and the red kind of reflecting off the black, because it kind of looks dopey. It kind of looks like Mr. Johnny 5. What is that? I forget the name of the robot. Whatever movie that was. Not Batteries Not Included. Anyway, whatever movie that was, old folks, you guys know what I'm talking about. But I think that when this is all red, and I think these halo lights are just going to have a pop that is just going to be insane, because it's going to look way different. It's going to look like just the lit part is floating off the car, because all this stuff that supports it is going to be red. It's going to blend in. It's going to be harder to see because the light itself is also going to be red. I think it's going to look magnificent. So I'm probably more excited about this than the drag wheels anyway, just if I'm being honest. And for all those people who hate those, imagine if this works out. Imagine if this works out and it looks baller, right? Like, I'm gonna be the first one, because I don't think anyone else has done this. I'll be the first one who has it, and another trendsetter in the Mustang world, because I've already seen a couple more people starting to do, you know, the reflective Mustang letters. You know, more power to you. Like I don't do stuff just so that I can have it and no one else can have it. You know, I don't mind sharing my cool ideas. So anyone else who likes that, go ahead and do it. Like, make your car look cool. Make your car look awesome. It doesn't make my car look any more or less cool to me, right? So like, do your thing, I'm gonna do mine. And that's the same attitude I have towards these lights. I paid for these lights. I paid for the car. I pay for everything for the car, so I'm gonna do what I like, you know. And if you guys like what I'm doing, cool, keep watching the videos. And if you don't like what I'm doing, cool, keep watching the videos. But more new stuff is gonna come down the line. As this car is winding down to a close, I gotta start shopping for the second project car. There will be a second project car, and I think, if I'm being honest, there's only 3 contenders now. There's a Corvette C6, because I never got to finish the old one that I had, and I wanted to finish it, and so I'm kind of going back through my list to finish them. And there's a lot of popularity in those now because they're really affordable, and you know, I can get into one for like 27 instead of like, I think I paid like 36, 37 when I bought my previous one. So like 10 grand off is great. That's an ESS supercharger right there. The C6 was one. Second one was getting an Audi A7. I just haven't decided between if I actually do want to go with like a RS7 or just get an A7 to be like my daily driver. But like, you know, you can still actually tune those up quite a bit. So that's the second choice. Third choice, Nissan GTR R35. The problem with the Nissan GTR R35 is the first 2 projects are like sub $40,000 projects. The Nissan GTR R35, just to even get the car, is probably going to cost me $70,000, $80,000 on top of the things that I want to do to it. So it's probably going to be like $110,000, $120,000 commitment to make that car. So we'll see. Because depending on how the Mustang drives, I may not want another super high horsepower car, but I definitely want a turbocharged car, and I don't have one of those. Would like to have all-wheel drive. The only reason the Corvette is still in the running is just because I never finished the previous one, and like it just irks me that I had to let the project go before I could finish it. So I'm not going to end the video here. I'm going to keep on doing some stuff, but I'm almost out of primer, and I don't want to start these 2 unless I know for a fact that I can get them done. So I'm probably going to go get another can of primer and then another full can of red paint, just to make sure that like I don't get caught up and run out of paint. All right, well, at the end of the day, we're back at America's Tire. I can't wait to see him roll these wheels out, because I'm pretty sure that we got 2 different sets of tires. So yeah, look at this shit. They owe me some money.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm not filming you, I'm just filming the wheels.
Just realizing that.
Well guys, I thought I was going to be able to do more for the video today, but I think I'm just going to put both projects on pause, and here's why. The wheels, I obviously want the same wheels. I don't want to run a mismatch drag set, because then I'm going to have literally 3 different design of wheels on my car, and I know I'm kind of trolling with my car a little bit, but not to that extent. Like, I still care enough that I want the wheels to be matched. So somebody made a mistake somewhere. It definitely wasn't me, because I'll show you guys my order. If you look, it's 2 of the Blackhawk wheels, quantity 2. So I'm hoping they reach out and help me get this resolved without any sort of BS, you know, so we'll see. I'm gonna remain positive. As far as the lights and the deck lid go, I also decided to put this on pause, because here's my thinking. if I'm gonna do a rattle can job, oh, thanks. If I'm gonna do a rattle can job on this and then slab it on my car, there's a huge chance that there's gonna be a lot of like messed up paint. And so it's a small job. I've already got it masked off. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can take it to a shop to just get somebody to clean the bird poop and then do all three, all in the same color, the right paint spec, not a close enough paint spec. So it adds some time to the build, don't get me wrong. You know, it's not gonna be done at the end of this video apparently, but whatever, life is life. Big things coming. I got some news for you guys that I'm gonna drop when I know, case in point, when I know the timing is right. So for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of this. I wish I could have done more for the video to make it a little bit more entertaining, but sometimes this kind of stuff also happens when you're working on project cars. It is what it is. And we keep on keeping on.
Fast lane when I pass
See you guys
in the
next time.
street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.